far down in the south. In association with Ugly & Co, it's the Mini GP, Junior Supermotos, 140s and 50s. Let's have a look at how they line up. It's Harley McCabe on pole from Tyler Humphries, Brian Hamilton third, Arnie Carr, Lewis Mullen and Laken Payne in sixth position. Harvey Lathrope 7th from Wilson Dilks, Joel Grieg and Zach Weston in 10th place. Luca Wilkinson 11th from Joshua Williams. Further down we have Blake Wilson in 13th from George Bowes, Kobe Garbutt, Toby Skaman in 16th, Daniel Stevenson and Brooke Champion 18th position. Bobby King did not set a qualifying time and will line up at the back of the field. So of course we have the mixture of course of the Mini GP and the Junior Supermoto machines racing together, but they are scored separately in their own championships, and we see Lathrop there, one of the first of the Junior Supermoto riders, just lining up and getting himself ready. One or two riders a little bit late out of the waiting zone, making their way around the back of the circuit now, and they'll be underway in just a few moments' time. So Harvey Lathrope looking to get underway, and of course his brother Will competing on the bigger bikes as well, and former British Mini Moto champion, Mini GP UK Series rider Will Lathrope, and racing last year in the British Superbike Stock 600 class. Looking after his younger brother Harvey, who is out there on the track at the moment with the in-form rider McCabe at the front of the field. It looks like everybody is set and ready to go. Riders, all bikes seem to be okay. Waiting now for the Union flag to show the flag start, of course, here at the British Mini Bikes. Looks like everyone is ready to go. Riders ready. Grid is clear. And the starter certainly seems happy with the grid as we wait for the race to get underway. Ugly & Co Mini GP, Junior Supermoto charging into the first corner. Okay, having an early challenge there from Brian Hamilton and Tyler Humphries, but looks like he holds on to the lead. Everyone through the first few corners safely. And there is Brian Hamilton, very well placed in third from Arnie Carr, Lewis Mullen and Laken Payne all in there. Harvey Lathrope on the treble 2, just ahead of Wilson Dilks leading the Junior Supermoto riders, but it's the 179 of Harley McCabe who breaks away at the front from Tyler Humphries. Back down towards the final corner, and McCabe just trying to break away at the end of the first lap. Over the line they go. Harley McCabe leads. Tyler Humphries second, Brian Hamilton third, and Lewis Mullen on the number 11 just sneaking through into fourth place, getting past the number 83 of Arnie Carr. Laken Payne 6, Harvey Lathrope leads the Junior Supermoto machines. He's just ahead of the number 85 of Wilson Dilks, Joel Grieg in 9th from Blake Wilson, Luca Wilkinson. Good clean start. Everyone seems to have got through the first lap okay. Further down we've got Zach Weston in 12th place from Joshua Williams, Kobe Garbutt, Toby Skaman, Bobby King, Daniel Stevenson and Brooke Champion. So Bobby King on the Junior Supermoto machine starting at the back of the field, picking off a couple of riders on that first lap. As at the front, Harley McCabe, good steady lap there, 42.259, pulls away slightly from Tyler Humphries in second place. Still Brian Hamilton in third, and Hamilton having a look down the inside, trying to make the move through the chicanes, much like we were talking with Derv a few moments ago. This track, it's very fast, quite technical in places, still very fast, so it does mean it's potentially a bit one-lined here. Very difficult sometimes to make the overtaking move, but what it does lead to is some really good tactical racing between these riders. It really is a case of making the move 3 or 4 corners in advance at times as they make their way down towards the final corner. So in this early stage of the race, very important here for Harley McCabe to try and break away now from the rest of the field. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on Tyler Humphries in second place, who is just breaking away slightly from this battle, which is turning in for third place now. Brian Hamilton, Lewis Mullen, Arnie Carr and Laken Payne all in there. Lewis Mullen having a look as they make their way up towards the top corner. Laken Payne then 6, Harvey Lathrope should be just coming through now in 7th place, leading the Junior Supermoto riders. As Humphries down towards the final corner they go, 1.7 seconds the gap between first and second place. still finely poised in the early stages of this Junior Supermoto and Mini GP as Harley McCabe over the line once again, 42.2 this time round, just starting to break away now from the battle for second place. All very close, so second down to about 7th, 8th position. So the number 19, 199 on your timing screens, Tyler Humphries. Got a whole host of riders behind him though as they start to make their way through one or two of the tail enders. There's the number 83 of Lydd Kart, just tagging on to the back of Lewis Mullen. Through the chicane they go once again. And that was Toby Skaman. And I don't know if Skaman on the 134 may have hit some kind of mechanical trouble. It really does seem to have dropped off the pace a bit on that previous lap. Still in the race though. With Brook Champion just a little bit further ahead as the battle still rages for that second place. Harley McCabe increases the gap now to 4.6 seconds. Much like we had in the previous race, a very close battle for second place here. Not much overtaking going on, but it's all finely poised and certainly no margin for error as Tyler Humphries in second place just trying to break away now. Like Brian Hamilton in there too. And Lydd Kart on the number 83, there he is, closely followed by Mullen. Payne also well placed as they make their way down towards the final corner. Harley McCabe round the final corner he goes, and over the line, cleared away at the front. The battle still raging for second place though. Humphries still in second, Hamilton, Carr, Mullen. Joel Krieg getting past the treble two of Harvey Lathrop, and Wilson Dilks has gone through to 7th, so a bit of a change in the Junior Supermoto class here. The number 85 of Wilson Dilks showing us the lead JSM rider, a little bit further behind this little battle here with the 83 of Lydd Kart. And we just saw Wilson Dilks, Joel Krieg, Harvey Lathrop a little bit further behind, battling for the Junior Supermoto lead. Joel Krieg fighting through the field up into 8th place. Harvey Lathrop drops to 9th. So Harley McCabe over the line, maintaining a good pace. His fastest lap of the race for the 179 was 42.259. Last time round he lapped in 42.3. So Harley McCabe, the race leader, setting a good consistent pace out the front, and he maintains a 5.5 second gap from this battle we're looking at now. Tyler Humphries for second place. Through the top corner they go, still fairly close here at the front. Hamilton, oh, we've got a red flag though. So just looking to see where the incident has occurred. I can't tell you who the rider is, nothing from our commentary point here, but red flag. Oh, there's a rider down on the final corner. And I'm not going to say who that rider is at the moment because we can't see and not showing up on our lap shot. So rider coming off on the final corner. This is, you can see for yourself, of course, this is the finish line. Red flag, so 7 laps to go. We'll wait and see from the race control whether that race will continue. And there is the treble two of Harvey Lathrop on the right-hand side of your screen, who was sitting in second from the Junior Supermoto. This gives you an idea, actually, this shot here, of the differences between the Junior Supermoto Mini GP. The 76 in the middle there of Luca Wilkinson. That's the, well, cutting the engines out here, so it looks like we're going to be here for a few moments. There's the 76 of Luca Wilkinson in the centre there, flanked by Zach Weston. That's the rider to your left-hand side. I spoke to him yesterday along with Lathrop in the press conference for the last round at Three Sisters. So Zach Weston and Harvey Lathrop, those two riders on the Junior Supermoto style machine. You see they've got the steeper rake, the more motocross style, as it were, style of bike, so owing a lot more to a Supermoto style machine. And the Mini GP, you would almost seem to see these bikes in the paddock, the likes of the Ovali and the Bucci machines amongst others. They really do represent a scaled down BSB or MotoGP style machine. There I think is the nuclear power plant in the background. We are right on the south coast here at Lydd, and just down the road here, actually, just for a bit of geography, it's the only official desert in the UK. If you've ever been, to be honest, this area really does remind me, actually, when you go to the other side of the channel, to the likes of the other side of Dunkirk, it's a bit like that. It's really flat and really sandy. We're not too far, actually, from the coast, from Camber Sands. And see the fishing lakes and quite a few campsites around here as well. It's we're down on the Kent coast, not too far from from East Sussex actually as well. It's really far down south. Of course, in 2 weeks' time we move up to. Well, there's a bit of there's a leaping. Looks like a salmon, not a salmon. Oh, that's one of the fishing lakes there, of course. Move on, of course, in 2 weeks' time to the final round of the championship at Wilton Mill. At the moment here, we're in the Junior Supermoto 140, Mini GP 140 and 50. Race number 1 has drawn to a red flag. We did have Harley McCabe in the lead. The riders being sent back to the paddock. Now, I haven't been advised yet as to whether that's been called as a result. The red flag came out pretty much at half distance. Just to recap the result when the red flag was shown, Harley McCabe was leading the race from Tyler Humphries in that great battle for second place from Brian Hamilton, Arnie Carr, Lewis Mullen, Laken Payne, Wilson Dilks, Joel Grieg. Wilson Dilks in 7th place leading the Junior Supermoto riders. Zach Weston running out the top 10 was 3rd in the Junior Supermotos. So the riders being sent back to the waiting zone. I'm just going to get an idea as to what's going on now. I think they're going to go back to the paddock actually, so it appears that race has been called at least for the time being. So provisionally that was a race win for Harley McCabe from Tyler Humphries, Brian Hamilton 3rd, Arnie Carr and Lewis Mullen. Those the provisional results. Of course there will be a count back if there is a red flag. So that was coming out pretty much at half distance. Riders now being sent back to the waiting zone. It appears that the injured rider has been taken away for further medical treatment at the medical centre, so hopefully that's nothing too serious. Of course, got the medical crews on hand at all of the Rich Energy British Mini Bike Championship rounds, and they do a great job. We hope we don't need them, of course, but sometimes, such is the nature of bike racing, we do get the occasional red flag and the occasional injured rider, and they are currently looking at the situation at the moment. So we're still at a pause at the moment. Next race coming up is the Pit Bike Vets, of course. They'll be back out on track in a few moments' time. But we've got a call time at the moment in this Junior Supermoto Mini GP 140 and 50 race number 1. Action getting underway in a few moments' time at the Lydd circuit. There we see the coastline taking us down towards Camber Sands. Like we say, very close to the channel, actually. Not too far. This is basically France down here at Lydd. It's a great little track, actually. It's relatively short. The lap time is only about 42, 43 seconds. And it's deceptively quick as well. When you see the track layout and when you come here to look at it first, it looks quite a tight technical track. But when you see the riders take to the course, and we were talking with Dervalin, who's actually down there with you'll see him with the grey-black coloured helmet and the very distinctive 189 on the leather. This is a great thing for the commentators, with Matthew Davis down there waiting the start of the Pit Bike Vets. These riders really do carry a lot of corner speed, especially out of that final corner as well. And nice track surface here at Lydd as well. It's good and grippy as well. And really does lend itself, like we've seen already, to some great racing. It looks like the Pit Bike Vets